Okay, so yeah, the red zinger. Let's see how much battery life do we have? Oh shit, I'm gonna have to plug this up. I did the red zinger. I signed up for the red zinger to do an 86 too. Only for 86, for some reason, that was after 6th grade. I was training for it and everything, just like in 85. But I was a lot lazier for some reason. Maybe because I didn't think that, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to win it. So I just didn't train as hard. And I went on a couple of rides. I was invited on a couple of rides with my teammate from 85, Brett Zimmerman. And he was totally kicking my ass. So I only did a couple of rides with him. And then I did the 86 red zinger and I ended up getting 18th. And I don't remember any of the specific races. I wasn't near the front. I was on the pack. I was on the main pack, and then like the first hill would come, and then all those kids would just zoom away from me. And but 18th wasn't bad. I mean, out of like 30 kids, that's respectable. And it was just the 12-year-olds. I think the kid who beat me by one place, the kid who was 17th was some kid named I can't remember, dude. But the kid who got 19th right behind me was my teammate, Mark Farewell. He was like my best friend for that year, for 86 and for 87. We'd hang out all the time after the race and before the race and talk about stuff. And we never did any training rides or anything apart from the race. In fact, I didn't ever train with anybody ever when I was a bike racer in the Red Zinger. But he was funny. He was like telling me how like I think he had these glasses and he just loved to talk. He'd tell me about how his parents like rebuilt computers and stuff and yada yada yada. And like he was kind of a wheel sucker though. Like we had this 4-mile race. And I remember before the race we were doing this like training ride or whatever. Maybe it was in the actual race and some kid spit and the loogie got all over me, man. And he looked behind, he's like, "Oh shit, dude, sorry." And I was like, whatever, it's cool. But like this race was 4 miles long. It was like on the, diagonal. And so it was really fast. It was just a sprint. So like all those kids in the front just zoomed ahead and I'm racing. I'm in my little group. And, no, this was in 87, I think. Yeah, and Mark, man, he's just sucking my wheel and he doesn't pull. And I think he kind of got a reputation for that, of just sucking people's wheel. But he didn't out-sprint me at the end of the race. So I don't know if he did it. I don't think he tried. He probably would have beat me if he could have, but he didn't. Anyway, he was my buddy. But then, and he did it, I think he did one of the preliminary races in 88 too. But then he got killed. He got hit by a truck on a training ride in Morro Bismarck. He was only like 14 years old. And, yeah. But yeah, so that was the 86 Red Zinger, and that was after 6th grade, so that was after my first year of doing the LERT. And then I did LERT in 7th grade, and so then I did the 87 Red Zinger after LERT. And the 87 Red Zinger was like, holy shit, okay, good. Was like really, I was even worse. I was 23rd, although it was getting more and more competitive. I mean, it wasn't so much that I was getting weaker and weaker, although I wasn't really training that much, because after 7th grade was kind of when I started to get depressed. Like 7th, 8th, and 9th grade were like the worst years of my life because I was just really depressed. And I didn't have any energy after school. I'd come home and I'd just be like, I wouldn't ride. I'd just watch DuckTales and Quantum Leap eating cereal and then go to bed. I just didn't. And if I did go on, I'd ride maybe once or like twice a week, but they were only like 15-mile rides, lollygagging it. Cause I like go on a ride and then like my legs would be sore for like an entire week. For like 4 or 5 days, I wouldn't be able to ride again because my legs were just exhausted after like a 14-mile ride. And I hear that like depression like manifests itself in your thigh muscles. So maybe that's why my thigh muscles just couldn't recover, because I was just depressed. And because I remember walking upstairs and just being like, oh, the burn in my legs. Oh my God, I only did a 15-mile ride yesterday. I'm not riding today. So that's kind of one reason I wasn't all that good. But I was 23rd, so that's not so bad, out of like maybe 35 or something, or maybe it was only 35. But it seemed like there were shitloads of kids that year. There was like 40 or something. But I ended up getting 25th overall because in the Memorial Bismarck, I got a flat. I was in the main pack, and I didn't see this rock. Like, all the kids in front of me missed it, and they didn't say anything. And I hit it, and I got a flat. And so I had to wait for the SAG vehicle to change my wheel, and then they changed it, and I caught up to some other stragglers, and then I got another flat. So I guess I got 2 flats when I hit that rock. So I had to wait for the SAG vehicle, got another tire, and then I wasn't able to pass anybody, so I got last, and I lost 2 places, and I ended up getting 25th. And I got lapped in the last race. But that was because it was like a really small course. It was the same exact. It was fun because the Red Zinger Mini Classic had a lot of the same exact race courses, as the Coors Classic did, as the adults. Like, we did the Morgul Bismarck, the adults did the Morgul Bismarck, and we did the Vail Criterium on the same exact course as the adults did the Vail Criterium. So we would go up to Vail and watch the adults do the Vail Criterium, and then we'd do the race. It was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. I remember Jared Clark won that one because I got lapped. So then I got to watch the race as like a spectator and just seeing him go wah, 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 and win. And yeah, he got 2nd overall. And he was like a new kid. Like, all the kids who were up on the front were like new kids. But I guess that's because they had like a restructuring of the age groups. And so they had like older kids start racing with us and stuff. But, and I could have been in a younger age group if I had been 5 days younger. Let's see, 28, 29, 30, 31. Yeah, if I had been 5 days younger, I would have been in the younger age group. And would have been in the front of the pack, but whatever. Yeah, because one kid actually raced up a category, raced in my age group. What was his name? Greg Shady. He won my brother's category, and then he raced in mine. I don't know why, because he wanted more competition. But he beat me, but only by like a couple places, and I beat him on the Denver Criterium once. But yeah, I remember in the '86 Red Zinger, we had a time trial in the Denver stage, or maybe it was the Denver race, because in the '85 Red Zinger, the Denver stage was its own stage. Or no, in '84 the Denver stage, was its own stage. Only it wasn't in Meridian Park. It was in like downtown Denver Park. That was pretty cool. And I remember Dax, my teammate, said he killed a duck. He was like bragging about it. Because there was like a duck park there. But and that was the same exact stage course as the Coors Classic Denver Criterium. It wasn't at the Tivoli, it was at this place. So, and that we watched. So that was exciting. My parents are really good about driving us all over the place to watch all the bike races and stuff. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, I did this like time trial, and I got 18th in the time trial, just like I got 18th overall in the race. And I compared my time over the same course with Casey Clifford, who is a girl who was 3 months older than me, who won the girl category. Because I remember she was really good. She'd like win all the stages, but she'd never throw her hands up. And I'd be like, I remember thinking, if I won the stage, I'd be throwing my hands up. But anyways, I compared my time with hers, and it was on the same course, and she got exactly 1 minute faster than me. And she would have gotten 8th in my age group. So, and I was 12. So the 12-year-old girls were like, almost as strong as the 12-year-old guys. Were as strong as the strong 12-year-old guys. Not as strong as the strongest, but as strong as the strong ones. But she was also a lot bigger than me at that time. And it was kind of a rolling hill of a course, so, the momentum definitely helped her on that one. She probably wouldn't have beat me on, like, the in-car hill climb. But, that was interesting. And she was, like, neck and neck with Jessica Whitehall, so maybe she would have been better than me, too, back then. I don't know. Who was also bigger than me. But anyways, 87, yeah, I got 25th. And then I didn't race at 88. I didn't race it in year 88 because I got that knee disease. I got Osgood Schlatter knee disease. And I was told to go to physical therapy every single day after school and have the ultrasonic dawn on me and to stretch and to not ride or run. So I quit the ski racing. This is in 7th grade. Or, well, I raced bikes after 7th grade. So 8th grade. During 8th grade, from 8th grade, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, 4 years, I didn't run, ride, or do shit. I didn't do anything. I was told not to ride. I was told not to ski. I was told, but I did downhill ski a little bit. But one year I didn't at all because my brand new skis were stolen the very first day skiing where I went to get my ticket, and I went back, my ski was gone. And I didn't have any skis, so I didn't ski that year. And I didn't have any boots because my mom insisted on getting these boots that were too small for me, and then I couldn't put them on, and so I just didn't ski that year. But I did some skiing over those years, some downhill skiing. But yeah, I did Nordic ski race or bike race or any of that. But I did mountain bike race. I started mountain bike racing in '87. After the Red Zinger, we did the mountain bike racing. We got mountain bikes, and so we started mountain biking all over, like Breckenridge, like the 10-mile trail from Breckenridge to Frisco, single track, really nice trail. I did that. I rode over the 10-mile range into Copper Mountain, and rode the trails around Keystone and skied the trails around Keystone. The same trails that I'd like skied on, I'd mountain bike on. And then I started mountain biking all over Boulder too. And yeah, so I mountain bike raced all summer on '87. We did the Frisco race and we did the Breckenridge race. And my brother was starting to get really good at bike racing. Like, he beat me on the time trial, the hill climb time trial in the Breckenridge Fall Classic. Yeah. And I raced mountain biked all year of 88, 89, 90, 91. I mountain biked all the way up through 91, mountain bike racing. And I showed up to a couple of road races too, licensed road races in like 91. But I got dropped like right at the beginning. I had 0 leg speed. Even in this road race I showed up to, it was like an 80-mile road race. I thought I was going to do well, but they started the race at like 100 million miles an hour. And I got dropped right at the beginning because I had no leg speed. My training consisted of riding my mountain bike up like hills that were like that steep. So that's what I was good at. I was good at riding up trails that were like that fucking steep, that were like really long climbs. But that's all I trained on. That's all I did. I didn't ride anything else. So, and I mean, one race I showed up, the 91 steamboat race. It was the only race that I raced junior. I was racing expert for some reason every race that year, and I was just getting like 60th place, like getting my ass kicked. But it was fun because the pace was really fast, but I was getting my ass kicked. So I decided to race junior this one race because this one kid I was going to high school with, Ben Marshall, who was actually my friend from 3rd grade, was doing really well, like in junior, in intermediate category. He was winning all the races, and then in junior, and he beat this kid Ben Allen in this race. And Ben Allen was the kid who got 2nd place in junior nationals and like 3rd in junior worlds the year before. So I wanted to race against him, so I signed up for junior. And but he actually dropped me at the beginning of the road race, and then I took a wrong turn. And I found myself at the back of the pack of the expert category, who started like 5 minutes ahead of us, or a minute ahead of us, or something like that. And so, even though I was going to try to not race expert this race, I ended up riding expert anyway because I went on their course, which was a longer course than what the juniors do. But it was a way better course. The junior course was just up the dirt road and then you go. But this was like up this really steep single track. And so I was in my element, and I ended up passing fucking everybody, dude. I passed this pro teammate of mine named Dave, who had a mohawk. And he's like, "Whoa, nice going, Kyle." And I passed I passed Jimmy Killen, who was the junior world champion. But then he passed me, and a bunch of other people passed me because my cleats fell out. And then I did the next race after that. And, whoops.